Hi. Okay, so all right, just let me touch a little bit on uh, the implications of fornication. All right, so you see, fornication is a big thing. You know, it's a big thing. Many persons involved in this sin, right? And we don't even consider the consequences, right? But if I'm telling you this, you see, if a lot of persons doing this, engaging in this type of sin, if they knew the consequences, they would not engage in it, right? Because once an individual is involved in that type of sin, they are opening up their life to become or to be attacked by an entity called the dragon, right? So the dragon and along with other forces, right? So collectively they are called witchcraft powers, right? So the dragon is the head of that witchcraft power, right? Very deadly forces, right? And their mission or their aim is to what? Kill, steal, and destroy, right? So very destructive forces, and so very destructive forces, and so what they do, their aim is to weaken the spirit of an individual by for instance feeding them with poisons in the dream, right? So many persons are dreaming are having dreams of eating, for instance, cooked meat in the dream. Very deadly, very dangerous thing. Persons eating meat in the dream, it's a form of that's one of the ways that these type of powers poison an individual spiritually, right? And I weaken that's one of the ways that they weaken an individual spiritually. Alright? And a person who is spiritually weak, they cannot they cannot fight the good fight. Right? We are wrestling against principalities, powers, rulers of the darkness of this world, and spiritual wickedness in high places. Persons who are spiritually weak, they cannot be victorious in this battle. They cannot fulfill their destiny. A person who is spiritually weak are spiritually dead. In other terms, they cannot worship the Father. Right? You have to be in spirit, in truth, to worship the Father. All right, and person who is spiritually weak will not find the things of God easy to do, such as fasting and prayer, reading the Word. Those become very difficult for that person, right? And to live a life of purity and holiness become very difficult for that person to live. So that person become very weak sexually, right? That person become That's how many persons become sex addicts, right? Going around, they become slave to that sin, in essence. All right, they become food for the serpent. Remember that the serpent feeds on dust, and a person who is spiritually dead is just mere dust. So we have to be very careful, guys. All right. All right. Thanks. Okay. And well, how do we overcome these entity? Before I cut this video, how do we overcome these entity? We have to surrender our life to Jesus Christ, right? and ask Him to deliver us from witchcraft powers. Confess your sins, of course, and first of all, when you surrender, you build a relationship, build a personal relationship. You're going to need it in order for you to battle these forces successfully. All right, ask God to deliver you from satanic bondage. This is what they do. They bring people into bondage and into the bondage of sin to make them become, if they were sinners, that person, that person will become worse. Right? A person who is is living in sin, person who is living in sin and engaging in these type of activity, or they engaging in the sin of fornication, they will become worse and worse over time, right? And more hardened as a sinner, basically. All right, all right. So that's my few words. Thank you very much.